The St. Tammany Parish Council hires an outside attorney as it investigates Parish President Mike Cooper and plans for a new apartment complex outside Covington. The council voted last night to hire Ross Lagarde, saying using the district attorney's office as its legal representation would prove a conflict of interest. Cooper maintains the DA's office ensured him assistant DAs could be used for the case without a conflict of interest, potentially saving taxpayers thousands of dollars. The council opened its investigation of Cooper after questions arose over the Covington Trace Ridge apartments. Council members say the proposed development flew under their radar and that no one from Cooper's administration alerted the council or the public about the plans. Councilman David Fitzgerald says he had to file a public records request just to get info on this project. He's hoping an outside attorney can help the council navigate this process.
Hopefully find a simple explanation for the events that took place in a chronological order, why, and also come up with a policy with the president and administration on it never happening again.
By hiring special counsel at the normal rates of hiring special counsel and using taxpayer money is, in my opinion, a waste of public funds and waste of our time as far as going through the process.
The project, which originally was slated to begin construction next month, is now on hold. Fitzgerald couldn't say how much it will cost to pay the outside attorney.